Yahya Abdul-Mateen II is an amazing actor. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II is an amazing actor. Simon Williams is an amazing actor, based on what I've seen on episode 1 of Wonder Man. And once again, I stand on what I said. Hey, this dude here should have been T'Challa or Blue Marvel. But I don't know a lot about Wonder Man. So, episode 1, what I do know about Simon Williams is that in the beginning, when he was talking about, oh yeah, spoiler alert, sorry y'all. In the beginning, when he was talking about what he wants to do with his character in an episode of American Horror Story that he was going to be starring in, it actually made sense. He was making some real good points, you know, and he was actually making the scene better. And then they fired him because they was like, we're not going to be able to get any work done. And it reminded me of, you remember when they showed the videos of when they talked about like Marvel Studios, they don't want people writing the movies who are comic book experts and all that. That's what it reminded me of. Like, we don't want your comic book expertise over here. Go on somewhere. Get out of here. You know, we're trying to do something else, you know. But I thought that was interesting. I do think that they should let Simon Williams, you know, get in on some of the scripts on some of the Marvel movies that are not made by Ryan Coogler, the Russo brothers. You know what I'm saying? Well, maybe he could come up with a synopsis to recast T'Challa or something and maybe fix a little bit of holes in some of the Russo brothers stuff. I love the Russo brothers and Ryan Coogler stuff, by the way. It's just that, hey, nobody's perfect. Everybody can use some improvement. Even Shaq, he couldn't shoot free throws. Okay, nobody's perfect. All right, Akeem the Dream didn't shoot the 3. All right. But anyways, at his audition, he said, I've been to the void. That's when he was reading the lines for Wonder Man. But I'm going to tell you something. When he said those lines, I felt those lines. I actually believed that this dude here was actually in the void, but he just forgot who he is. And that brings me back to my theory when I said a couple years ago, I say, man, this is T'Challa from a different Earth or universe or whatever. But he believes that he's Simon Williams. Somehow somebody flashed the Men in Black flashy thingy in front of his face, and he can't remember who he is. I think that's what happened. And then it's going to be revealed that when he realized who he is, that he's T'Challa. So check this out. While I'm still on to that theory, now I'm enjoying the show. I love Yahya Abdul-Mateen II chemistry and him and Ben Kingsley. Oh, side note here, you know Ben Kingsley, before Patrick Stewart was cast as the first live-action Professor Xavier, he was in talks to play that role. And as a matter of fact, if you go watch the movie Species, the very first Species, he was a scientist. Experiments on children with aliens and stuff. His name was Xavier. All right. That movie came out in like 1995. So I think that's when X-Men was still at its peak of popularity. But I don't know if they offered him the role to play Charles Xavier first or not. But I'm cool with Patrick Stewart, you know. But I thought Ben Kingsley, he would. That was my first choice after watching the movie Species when I was like 12 years old. But all right, so finally at the end of the show, we find out that Simon is actually superpowered, and he's a danger to everyone, according to whoever the dude was on the phone talking to Ben Kingsley character or whatever. And this straight up reminds me of when Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, when he starred as Dr. Manhattan in The Watchmen, because his character, the audience, we didn't know that he was Dr. Manhattan and he was powerful and stuff as Dr. Manhattan and all this stuff until they needed him to be, until Regina King character was like, all right, I need him to come out. I need that dude to come out. You know what I'm saying? So that's the vibe I'm getting right here. Like I say, this is me totally unaware of Wonder Man's powers and all this stuff. I could go look it up, but also, you know what? I'm going to approach it with an open mind state because there's so many things in life that, you know what, when I enter it with a closed mind, I may end up missing out. But anyways, yeah, so far, episode 1, as far as pure television watching, I thought it was entertaining. Episode 1, scale of 1 to 10, I give it an 8. Give it an 8. So, about to check out episode 2, and I'll let y'all know what happened.